blew up to surprise you, Alicia. Guess what he found? You somebody else and you were supposed to be his girl.
A major drama recently impacted Alicia Keys' ascent to popularity. What did Clive Davis allegedly say behind closed doors? And did Jaguar Wright spill some wild tea? It is astounding. When Empire State of Mind came out in 2009, everyone assumed that Jay-Z had always picked Alicia. However, behind the scenes, it is a very different matter. It turns out that the original version was actually recorded by Mary J. Blige. So how did Alicia become the center of attention? According to insiders, people were pulling strings hugely, not just by Jay-Z either. Allegedly, Clive Davis was also pushing levers. Jaguar Wright claims that vocals were not the only factor in this. It was about plain favors, obedience, and silence. Alicia's whole career was not just built, she says, it was planned. Let us dissect it. Empire State of Mind, one of Jay-Z's most popular songs to date, was released in 2009. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Alicia was not even selected first. According to reports, a different singer had in mind when the songwriters Janet Jinsel Ulepik and Angela Hunta composed the hook. You know who Jay first desired? Mary J, allegedly. Even before Alicia's name was mentioned, she gave a live performance of it. Then, however, something changed. Jay turned and Alicia answered the phone. Even so, it was not simple. Alicia acknowledged in a 2023 interview with M94.7 that Jay had trouble getting in touch with her at all. She claimed that he nearly stopped attempting to get in touch with her. Nevertheless, everything went haywire when Alicia finally took over. The song became the anthem of New York instantly, went 9 times platinum, won 2 Grammys, and dominated the World Series and VMAs. Whispers, however, followed as the single rose in the charts. Industry insiders began to wonder why Alicia? Mary, why not? It was not about talent, according to some. It was intimate. According to others, Jay-Z lobbied for Alicia due to their developing relationship. Roc Nation did not have her. He did not have her signed. But all of a sudden, she was permanently linked to one of his most successful records. Clive Davis, one of the most influential guys in music, supported Alicia in the meantime. She was signed by him. He molded her voice. He carefully selected her picture. Jaguar Wright then chimed in with her accusations. The internet was shaken by Jaguar's tirade. She said that when Swizz Beatz was still married, Alicia was having an affair with him. According to Wright, Alicia caused havoc after messing with married guys. She said there was turmoil and heartache behind the scenes when Alicia took Swizz Beatz from his ex-wife. That is not all though. Jaguar brought up Antonio Gordon, claiming that she and Alicia were romantically involved with him. Jaguar claims that Gordon walked in on her with another man after Alicia played him dirty. Jaguar claimed that Alicia was to blame for the incident that broke him. Then, everything became much more chaotic. Wright implied that Alicia was under covert pressure from Clive Davis. She was the object of the game. Jaguar continued after that. She went for the full picture of Alicia. She accused her of being phony, claiming that Alicia hides her true self behind a quiet, tidy facade for the public. Wright even mentioned an incident at BB King's where she made fun of Alicia's appearance in public by clowning her for having pimples. Then she said that Alicia hides behind her good girl persona and challenged her to a battle, which she would win. And Alicia said nothing as Jaguar let it all out. No excuses, no clapbacks, just more accolades, more performances, and a flawlessly manicured persona. However, the timing, too good to pass up. As Alicia's celebrity exploded, Empire's mental illness struck, and Clive Davis was right there with her. Clive Davis was involved at every stage from the start. When Clive took over, Alicia was merely a teenager with a dream and a demo tape. What about Clive? He did more than merely encourage her. She was built by him. Legends like Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin were started by this man. He therefore had a plan when he discovered Alicia. She joined Clive's new label, J Records, at the age of 19. However, Clive blocked the release of her debut CD. Nope. He changed the tone, softened the sound, had it recorded, and delayed it. He desired her to be tidy, elegant, and ready for the market. She exuded a sense of security and likability with her modest attire, braids, and piano playing. She wrote songs about heartbreak and strength, but not rebellion, critics noticed. Alicia was not as brazen as Beyonce or as honest as Lauryn Hill. She was composed, dignified, and safe. And that defense, Everything is Clive. Songs in a Minor was a huge hit when it came out in 2001. After selling 12 million copies and winning 5 Grammys, Alicia became more than just R&B. She was a sensation. However, stress accompanied that fame. Other artists muttered that Alicia received all the resources while others were sidelined, and that Clive picked favorites. Jaguar then asserted that Clive had used Alicia as a weapon, pushing her forward while silently obstructing others in the background. Alicia was not the only one Clive promoted. He picked her out. He handled her first appearance as if it were a presidential campaign. No mess, not a single headline, just charm, talent, and a spotless record. Alicia remained silent during the rumors, stayed out of drama, and avoided controversy. She never mentioned beefs, industry politics, or daring remarks. Some claim that she was not just a quiet person. It was a plan. They claim that because the system favored her, Clive wanted someone who would not question it. She did not struggle to get a place at the table. She was handed the seat, even when she began to be associated with Jay-Z and brought into Clive's private affairs. Alicia remained silent. Not a single denial. Do not tweet. Nothing but quiet. Silence speaks louder than words in a noisy industry. By the middle of her 20s, Alicia was well known, glowing on magazine covers, hosting international events, and performing live at the Grammy Awards. What about Clive Davis? Still grinning and standing behind her. It appeared to be loyalty to some. It appeared to be controlled by others. Fans are now questioning whether Alicia ever truly directed her own career, as Jaguar Wright criticizes Clive and casts doubt on her independence. Or did she simply pick up the skill by letting strong guys make the decisions? Alicia's reputation was set by the time she joined Swizz Beatz. She was the golden child of the industry. However, what happened when it was revealed that she was seeing Swizz while he was still married? That flawless picture broke. There are also fans that never let it go. Let us look at the schedule. In 2004, Swizz wed Mashonda Tafrare. In 2006, they had a son. However, Swizz and Jonna Sebastian had a daughter by 2008. All of this took place prior to the divorce being finalized. However, the actual explosion was triggered by Alicia Keys' connection with Swizz Beatz. It has been reported that Swizz and Alicia began dating in late 2008. The documents contradicted Swizz's allegation that he and his wife Mashonda were no longer together. They had not yet finalized their divorce, and Mashonda lost it when images of Swizz and Alicia began to appear online. Mashonda made a shocking revelation in September 2009 when she wrote an open letter to Alicia Keys. She did not hold anything back when she uploaded it to the internet and named Alicia. The internet was muted by a single line. Let me begin by saying that Alicia, if you are reading this, you are aware of what you did. You are aware of the part you performed, and you are aware of the part you played in my marriage's demise. The music industry was shocked by that one sentence. For the first time, Alicia was publicly criticized, together with receipts. However, Alicia, she remained silent, nothing to say, no interview, no reaction on social media. While the rumors raged, she let the internet fight it out. She was quickly labeled a home wrecker by some. Others claimed that before Alicia arrived, Mashonda's marriage was already failing. But what about the harm? Completed already. Swizz and Mashonda have finalized their divorce by 2010. Swizz and Alicia were married in the same year. For supporters to think it was all innocent, the time frame seemed much too close. Egypt, their first son, was born to Alicia that year. They then welcomed Genesis, their second child, 4 years later. From the outside, picture perfect, lovely family, happy couple. But what is beneath the smiles? The rumors of an affair never stopped. Mashonda stuck to her story even years after. She was completely honest in both her memoir and interviews. Alicia did not show up following the breakup. She contributed to its occurrence. The issue did not align with Alicia's brand, which was based on empowerment, peace, and authenticity, and she did not say anything. It merely increased the volume of conversation. Even though she was not usually dramatic, the silence felt like a cover-up this time. The three of them appeared to have moved on by 2020. Mashonda, Swizz, and Alicia even posed for family portraits. They supported one another in public, co-parented, and grinned for the cameras. However, the internet. Remember the beginning of it all. Fans were left to wonder if Alicia was able to remain silent during that. What else has she not spoken up about? Then, in 2016, Alicia did something that brought her attention once more, but it had nothing to do with music. She did not wear any makeup when she walked the red carpet at the BT Awards. Nothing. Not even a hint of lipstick, mascara, or foundation. It was audacious and shocked the beauty industry. Photos of her exposed face were all over the internet within hours. Social media took off. She was hailed as a trailblazer by some for her courage. They claimed that she was promoting women's love for their true selves and questioned questioning conventional notions of beauty. Others were giving the whole thing the side eye, wondering if it was a new PR gimmick or a genuine position. Then, on Lena Dunham's blog, Lenny Letter, Alicia gave a candid personal piece in which she described everything. "I am just done," she said. She is over the strain, hiding, and being scrutinized for her appearance. "I do not want to conceal up anymore," she wrote. "Not my thoughts, not my soul, not my mind, not my face." The message spread widely. She was commended by the media for standing up. Beauty businesses and feminist organizations hopped on board. The hashtag #NoMakeupNumber gained popularity. In her tribute, women began sharing selfies with their faces bared. Alicia was briefly praised for revealing her true self rather than for her songs. In an interview, she even stated, "I feel centered, I feel strong, I feel clear. It was a spiritual glow up." Then the change was made. Fans saw Alicia appear much more put together when she went out a few months later. Red carpets, magazine shoots, and even music videos. Although it now appeared touched up, she nevertheless had a natural vibe. People noticed lip balm, bronzer, light foundation, and possibly even some contour. All of a sudden, people stopped clapping. They were criticizing her for not being honest about it, not for wearing makeup. Supporters began to feel duped. Glam was not the point here. Trust was at issue. The no makeup movement had been presented by her as a personal revolution. It now felt more like branding, a means of separating herself from the glitzy Instagram age of contour kits and effects. Critics claimed that after making a statement, she exploited it for commercial gain. Beauty experts also added their voices. Articles like, "Is Alicia Keys really makeup free?" were published, and the real story of the makeupless look. During episodes of The Voice, where she worked as a coach, viewers began to focus on her looks. Screenshots displayed tinted moisturizer, blush, and even faint shimmer. It became sloppy. The once pure movement suddenly felt commercial. People began to wonder if the no makeup moment was merely a well-planned image refresh, or if it had ever been about being genuine, and that was not made any simpler by Alicia. She changed her mind in subsequent interviews. All of a sudden, she was claiming that she was pro-choice and never opposed makeup, because whether or not they wore it, she wished for women to feel strong. However, that was not consistent with her initial message. She seemed to be abandoning the entire beauty business with that Lenny Letter essay, which had felt like a manifesto. She was still following the no makeup trend, but she was back in full glam. A few admirers felt deceived. She is free to change her opinion according to others. In any case, the backlash increased. She should have just been honest, they said. Rather than acting as though the glow up was still natural, let us say she altered. The more in-depth discussion followed concerning privilege. A whole staff accompanied Alicia's natural appearance. Personal chefs, trainers, dermatologists, facials, and high-end skincare. That type of assistance is not available to most people. Therefore, it was not like the typical woman wearing makeup when she went out looking radiant without it. The entire no makeup movement began to fall apart. What had initially seemed like insurrection became to resemble a well-planned effort. The epitome of composure and control, Alicia had mastered the industrial game. Then people began to wonder what else was included in the performance. Furthermore, wellness professionals were not holding back either. They noted that having money for private chefs, high-end skincare products, and beauty services makes it quite simple to go makeup free. According to critics, the typical woman cannot afford to glow naturally because she works long hours, manages her finances, and may be raising children, as Alicia did. What began as a daring moment became something wholly disconnected from reality. And this was not only about lip gloss for Alicia Keys, who based her entire brand on being straightforward, honest, and genuine. Trust was at issue. By 2024, Alicia was making headlines once more. However, there was no acclaim this time. To speak and sing at a major women's meeting, she took a plane to Saudi Arabia. The occasion was marketed as a celebration of female leadership and empowerment. No outrageous scandals, no malfunctions, not a single arrest. She was constantly grounded, radiant, and composed, like the industry's spiritual queen. But there were always murmurs behind that glossy radiance. Insiders in the industry had been discussing it for years. Engineers for studios, tour employees, even former partners. According to them, Alicia was not always as composed as she appeared on video. There were reports of abrupt mood swings, postponed sessions, and late-night outbursts. Some even made references to drugs, in a quiet, behind-the-scenes kind of way, rather than a party girl kind. Nobody ever went public. There was no concrete evidence, yet the rumors persisted. Furthermore, they were not from gossip websites. They originated within the game itself. The live performances followed. Fans were left wondering what was actually happening after a few performances. Alicia had an unusual appearance at an awards ceremony in 2019. Social media users quickly noted her slurred speech and clumsy transitions. Is she alright? Is she intoxicated? Does this feel like nerves or something else? No explanation once more. Nothing but quiet. And it could have been sufficient a few years ago. Not just now though. Not in a time when audiences demand authenticity. They are not content with the soft lighting and phrases fragrant with incense. They want the truth. Alicia went more on the spiritual branding rather than explicitly addressing anything. Videos of yoga, meditations with a guide, music with healing frequencies, and interviews with ethereal words about vibrations and energy. On the surface, it appeared serene, but to some, it resembled a smokescreen, like a well thought out method of hiding anything was actually occurring in the background, and everyone began reevaluating everything. The women's rights summit, the music, the hush, the no makeup movement, did it all fit into a well-crafted persona? Because in less than 10 years, Alicia transformed from a gritty R&B singer with braids and boots to a barefoot spiritual guru with high-end beauty products. And such changes, they do not occur by itself. Her entire circle was full of people who knew how to mold a star, manage headlines, twist tales, and hide the nasty parts. The name Clive Davis kept coming up, followed by Swizz Beatz and Rock Nation. According to PR experts, Alicia's negative publicity quickly fades. Interviews are removed, stories are rewritten, and blogs go silent. Control like that? It is expensive. Furthermore, it does not occur unless someone is actively working to preserve the reputation. So when people inquire as to whether Alicia Keys is concealing something, it goes beyond hearsay. Perception is key. Perhaps the world was never truly aware of her identity. Perhaps the Alicia we saw was only one meticulously crafted version of a far more nuanced tale. Did she tell the truth? The healer who is grounded? Or just another well-publicized industry product? There is no denying that Alicia Keys' quiet is more powerful than any music. This concludes the video. Press the like button, leave a comment, and remember to subscribe for more in-depth analyses of celebrities like this one. See you next time on Celeb Beats.